What's up, YouTube? Jeff, your Style O.G. And on today's video, we're going to discuss 10 green flags that woman is for you. If you're new to the channel, we release a new video every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, discussing various men's lifestyle topics such as style, grooming, and dating. I invite you to subscribe, tap the notification bell, and join us. And to my returning friends like Chuck Harper Jr., salute. Now today's video is actually the result of a comment I got from a recent video, 10 red flags a woman isn't for you. Someone asked, Jeff, what about the flip side? How do I know if a girl is a good candidate for me? So ask and ye shall receive. On today's video, I'm gonna go over 10 green flags, and if you notice a bunch of these, she might just be the right woman for you. So without any further delay, let's hop right into it. Now, first on the list of the 10 green flags a woman might be for you is one I believe is highly important. That woman might just be for you if around her you can be your authentic self. Now, here's the thing. When we first start dating, we all kind of send our representative out there. But what happens when that wall comes down and the real you is shown? Is she interested and attracted to the authentic you? And better yet, do you feel comfortable being the real you around her? That's extremely important. When you're around her, do you feel comfortable being your authentic self, warts and all? That's a great sign. Do you feel the need to go out of your way, put on airs, and be someone you aren't? That's a red flag. But if you can truly be you, be your authentic self, she's attracted to it, and you're comfortable, that's a green flag that woman could be for you. Now, next up on the list is definitely an important green flag. Do you and this young lady have similar values? Now hear me out. Nobody expects you to always get along and always agree. But you guys have to share similar values because it gives a foundation upon which major decisions are informed. What direction do you guys both see your lives going? You have to have some guiding principles to get you there. Very important that you and this young lady have similar core values. Things you draw upon to guide you in life. 3 of the things that might be important are shared belief systems, religion, politics, and money principles. You're never gonna agree on everything, but you and your lady should have similar values. Another important thing to look out for that might make you think all systems are go, is the young lady satisfied and comfortable with only your attention? Here's the thing, as human beings, we all desire attention. But most of the desire for your attention should come from wanting it from your mate. You want a woman who isn't overly concerned about likes on social media. She shouldn't need validation from a bunch of strangers. She shouldn't be flirting with other guys. You want a woman who doesn't go out of her way to be seen. We all desire attention. You want a woman who desires most of her attention from you. Next up is a green flag to pay attention to when you're first getting to know someone. Have they had enough time to get over their last serious relationship? I highly recommend if you meet a woman and she's recently broken up with someone, don't take her seriously. Now, even if it was her idea to break up, anytime you lose a relationship and when you break up, that is a loss, you need time to mourn it. If she's recently broken up with someone, you can probably bet there's still some emotional attachment. How's she gonna make room for emotional attachment with you? When you first start dating someone, ask when their last relationship was. It needs to be at least 6 months or a year ago. You need the runway to be free and clear for you guys to move forward. It's a great green flag if her last relationship wasn't recently. Now, another green flag I definitely recommend you take note of, does she take interest in you? I'm talking about, is she interested in you, your thoughts, your activities, and your feelings? It's definitely a red flag if a woman only talks about herself. She's too self-absorbed. Does she ask you questions? Does she remember little things you brought up? Does she intently listen to you? Does she care about your opinion? Does she solicit your opinion? Another thing you want to pay attention to, if you are able to express how you feel, does she acknowledge how you feel? Does she pay attention to your perspective? We all get caught up in our own things. But if you have a woman who takes interest in you, your thoughts, your feelings, and your dreams, that's a green flag. Now, earlier in the video, I mentioned how you're not always gonna get along. You are gonna disagree. And a great green flag is she able to resolve conflict constructively. No matter how great your relationship is, disagreements and arguments are going to occur. But when they do occur, are you both able to listen to each other? A great sign is you guys aren't talking over each other. You get to express yourself and then listen to her, and vice versa. You want to make sure you have a woman that when you disagree, doesn't show you contempt and is intent on hearing your perspective. It's a great sign if a woman doesn't frequently say always and never, and she's very direct about how she feels. She's not beating around the bush. And lastly, when conflict arises, she doesn't think everything is your fault. It's a great green flag if a woman has the ability to resolve conflict in a constructive manner. Speaking of everything not being your fault, an extremely great green flag is a woman who has the ability to take accountability. If you're with a woman who's always blaming you and thinks everything is your fault, that's a problem. But on the other hand, if you have someone who recognizes her actions have an effect on your relationship and you, that's a great sign. You want someone who's solution-based, not who's caught up in being right all the time. Like I always say, being right plus 2 quarters equals 50 cents. Being right isn't important. Being understood by one another is. When problems occur, great signs to see: she doesn't play victim, she does not make excuses, and she apologizes when it's called for. Huge green flag that if you notice, I suggest you lock her down right away. Does she have the ability to take accountability? Next up is a green flag I think is a good sign for both the ladies and us as well. Does she have a life of her own, and does she expect and respect the fact that you have a life of your own as well? A relationship tends to be much more healthy if you both have outside interests. Does she make time for you, but it isn't all about you? Does she have her own outside interests and passions? Does she have friends and family she spends time with? Does she want a healthy dose of your attention, but not just all of it? That's a great sign. A healthy relationship is one where you guys are interdependent on one another, not dependent. Big difference. A woman that doesn't have her outside interests is gonna be a drag on you. It's gonna be exhausting. So it's a great green flag that throughout the relationship, she has her own interests and you have your own as well. Next up on the list of green flags a woman is for you is one to me that's a deal breaker and could have been at the top of the list. Does this woman respect you? Here's a difference between men and women. In general, men crave respect, women crave love. You need to have a woman that believes in your capabilities and values your opinion. It's a good sign if you notice she's not always criticizing and contradicting you. Yes, she can disagree with you, but remember earlier, like we said, she shouldn't do it with contempt. You want a woman who trusts your judgment, but when it's time to challenge you, she challenges you in a tactful way. It's very important to have a woman that cares about you, supports you, and respects you. If she makes you feel respected, that, my brother, is a green flag. Now, on our last tip, I talked about how you want a woman who challenges you in a tactful way. That's because I believe a green flag a woman could be for you is a woman who does challenge you and inspire you. A woman who challenges you and inspires you helps bring out the best in you. She helps propel you on your path. Yes, you want a woman who respects your opinion and is able to follow you, but you don't want a yes man, or better yet, a yes woman. There's gonna be times when you might not be seeing straight and you need her to challenge you, to get you to see things in a different way. A woman who inspires you, motivates you to want to be your best self. It's definitely a green flag that if you notice, this woman adds to your life and makes your life better. A woman who challenges and inspires you is an asset. She's gonna help you reach your full potential. So yes, you do want a woman who's agreeable and respectful, but a great asset in a woman and a green flag, does she challenge you and inspire you? Now, of course, no woman is gonna be perfect, nor should you expect perfection in a woman. I mean, after all, you and I are far from perfect. But I believe if you're just starting to date someone, or even if you've been in a relationship for a little while, if you notice several of the green flags on today's list, there's a great chance that woman is for you. Now, as always, I love to have your input. Let us know in the comments section. Do you have some recommendations of some green flags the Style O.G family should be looking out that might indicate that woman is the one?